What I love about My Hero is that not only is Shigaraki history's greatest villain because of All For One, but at the same time, he is history's greatest victim. Considering that All For One was manipulating his life before he was even a thought in his father's head. Think about that. And in order to stop history's greatest villain and save history's greatest victim, you would need the world's best hero, Deku. What I love about these two is that they're polar opposites to one another. Despite the bullying from Bakugo and not having a quirk, Midoriya actually had a super good life. So much so that he constantly feels that he's blessed by everything around him. And to a degree, he was blessed. Just think about it. You're a quirkless kid and then your favorite hero, the #1 hero in the world, chooses you to become his successor. The world's greatest hero, your idol, is now training you to be the best. You're so blessed that even the people that used to treat you terribly in your life would now do anything in their power to make sure that you still shine. Meanwhile, on the other side of the spectrum, Shigaraki was just cursed. He effectively had his entire bloodline stolen from him, grandma, father, himself. He was then given a power so terrible that he took out his own family on accident at 5 years old, effectively mentally stunting him at this age. Which is why in the future, even though Midoriya is 4 years younger than he is, Midoriya can still see that young kid because he never got to grow up mentally. While everybody was telling Midoriya to give up on Shigaraki even though they couldn't see Tenko, Midoriya understood the point of a blessing is to pass it on and give it forward, and that's what he did to Shigaraki, and it's a good thing that he did. Because All For One is like a calamity that's on a cosmic horror type of scale. You're not going to beat this demon by just being physically stronger than him like Midoriya was. In order to make sure he never came back, you had to wipe him out in the physical and spiritual realm at the same time, and I love how this ended. No other hero would have been able to beat All For One because in order to beat All For One, you had to save the person he was possessing so that they can fight back on the inside. That's why even though Kudo didn't like the fact that Midoriya wanted to save Shigaraki, he was still at the end of the day like, you know what? I think this boy is onto something. And it's a good thing he helped out because Midoriya was 100% right. He saw that crying little boy and he knew, all right, there is something way bigger going on than what's being presented in front of me. After all, when he had that confrontation with Shigaraki back in season 2, he was able to see that Shigaraki was legitimately hurt by Hiro somehow. So much so that after this thing happened, Midoriya asked All Might afterward, like, has there ever been a time where you couldn't save somebody because this dude seems like he wasn't saved? Midoriya's emotional intelligence is like just on 100. But long story short, I'm just happy that the My Hero anime is getting so many flowers in this final season because I think this ending of the show is one of my favorite shonen endings of all time. No plot holes, no loose ends that weren't tied up like Bleach, no offense. The final war actually rallied all the people that you were with the entire time in the show, so it just felt like a really good send-off. Of course, I'm talking about the last episode of My Hero that came out, but if you saw it, what did you think about it? Because personally, I think My Hero is on a legendary run and it's going to be one of the best shonen series to binge after it's over.